The year is 1995. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Trigger warning. The year is 1995. Steven Pladl is 20 years old, and he meets a 15-year-old Alyssa Garcia on the internet. Okay? Already we off to a bad start. Steven Pladl proceeds to groom Alyssa Garcia over the internet. He travels to San Antonio to begin a sexual relationship with her. And Alyssa eventually runs away with Steven to live in New York. She was groomed. Typical story, you know, they get up in your head. And she runs off with him. She becomes pregnant at 16. At this point, Steven would have been 21. Okay? And on January 29th, 1998, Alyssa gives birth to their first child at 17 years old. The couple names the child Denise Pladl. So, Alyssa is 17, and she has given birth to Denise Pladl. Steven Pladl at this point is 22 years old, and he has been grooming Alyssa since she was 15 when they met on the internet. Okay? According to Alyssa, because Pladl was unable to hold down a job, his moods would swing from morose to enraged. He beat their cats, he verbally abused her, and he tormented the baby. This is according to Alyssa Pladl, okay? She says that the adoption actually happened because I was worried about Katie's safety. She would cry and it would just instantly trigger him, end quote. According to Alyssa, Steven would abuse baby Denise by pinching her until she was black and blue and stuffing her in a cooler to the point of near suffocation, y'all. Because of this, Alyssa decides to put baby Denise up for adoption when she was only 8 months old. She really believed that her daughter would not have a chance at life if she continued to live with them and Steven. Okay? So to recap, Alyssa Pladl at 17 years old gives birth to 22-year-old Steven's baby, and Steven Pladl is abusive to the baby, according to Alyssa, pinching the baby till she was black and blue, putting her in a cooler, effectively trying to suffocate her, okay? And it was so bad that Alyssa puts the baby up for adoption, okay? So Denise Pladl gets adopted at 8 months old by Kelly and Anthony Fusco from Dover, New York. She gets renamed Katie Rose Fusco, okay? According to Katie's parents and family and friends, Katie had an unremarkable life, a very normal, regular life, and she graduates from Dover High School in 2016 with intentions of going to Dutchess Community College, okay? However, in August of 2016, when Katie was 18 years old, so now she's an adult, she decides to look for her biological parents. And she finds them and decides to reach out to them on Facebook. Come to find out that Steven and Alyssa are still together, y'all. This is the man who Alyssa gave up her baby for adoption because he was so abusive to the baby. She was scared for the baby's life. She's still with this man 18 years later. Can you believe it? Grooming is one hell of a drug. And this poor woman was groomed at 15 years old by this 20-year-old man who now, 18 years later, he still got his hooks in her. So Katie meets up with them in North Carolina. And instead of going to college, Katie decides to move in with her biological parents, who lived with their other two children in Virginia, near Richmond. So not only did Alyssa Pladl stay with Steven Pladl, who she accused of being verbally and physically abusive, not only did she stay with this man, that she gave up her baby for adoption because she was scared that he would do irreparable harm to said baby. Not only is she still with this man 18 years later, but they done went and had 2 more children. Woo-wee. I mean, you can't even be mad at her because she never stood a chance. She got sucked in by this man at 15 years old. Had a baby by him at 17. 18 years later. I mean, she's in her 30s, and she's still with this man, got 2 brand new children with him. It just makes you wonder, like, how was this man treating these new children? How was he treating these new children if he was so abusive to his baby that his wife had to give the baby up for adoption? I worry for those children. So it's 2016, and Katie Fusco, who was born Denise Pladl, has decided to move in with her biological parents, Alyssa and Steven Pladl, and their 2 children, her 2 full biological siblings that she was not raised with, in 2016. But what Katie doesn't realize when she moves in is that Steven and Alyssa, her parents, are in the middle of a very messy separation. They're not even sharing the same bedroom anymore, okay? So over the next few months, while Katie is living with her biological parents, her biological siblings, her family, Alyssa Pladl, her biological mother, starts to notice some things. According to her, she noticed that her husband, Steven Pladl, had started sprucing up his appearance after Katie had arrived. She notices that he's starting to wear tight-fitting clothing and he's shaving off his beard, according to Alyssa Pladl. And then she says that he begins to sleep in Katie's room, y'all. He begins to sleep in Katie's room, which ignited a huge fight between them. And apparently, according to Alyssa, when she confronted him during this fight, Steven told her it was not her business and stormed out of the house with Katie, the daughter they had given up for adoption. So this was the final straw for Alyssa, and she finally moves out in November 2016.